We probably spend about 20 hours a day in our homes, give or take. Especially post-pandemic, we spend a lot more time in our homes. And like Bob had mentioned, I want you to think of your home as an active environment. It's not just the backdrop to where you live or work. It is in partner in a dynamic of your life. And so many times when we design our home, we design it for a very different reason or a different season than we're in right now. So I see this a lot with furniture that may have served a purpose in the past, but now it just takes up space in the room, or layouts that made sense when there was a lot more activity or the house was a lot more fuller, and now it's not. And objects that we might hold on to because we fear that if letting them go means that something else is going to come to an end. Or potentially, you might want to improve your space, or you might want to renovate your space, but you're just overwhelmed because there's so many decisions and you just don't know where to start. And then that whole task really begins to feel quite large. And this isn't because we do anything wrong, it's just because our homes don't automatically update when our lives do. So we have to make sure that we are partnering with our home as much as our homes are partnering with us. And so when there's a gap between where your home is and where your life is, it shows up as friction, it shows up as fatigue, it shows up as just something feels a little bit off and you can't put your finger on it. And a lot of times that's when we begin to think, I need to update, I need to change the color, I need a new sofa, I need to paint. And I like to intercept right at that moment when you begin to think about what you want to change. Because it's then that we begin to ask why. Before you make an investment, why do you want to change your space? What is it that you want to improve about your life? And so I help you alleviate some of these changes, and I help you to guide you through a holistic approach to designing your forever home. So, you guys ready to get into it? Awesome. So this is just a little food for thought. You have your worksheets. If you want to take down any notes, just jot them down. I hope that this is going to be an open discussion. So I just don't want to talk at you for an hour and a half. I want your insight. I want your wisdom. There's a lot of knowledge in this room, and I'm here to learn with you all just as much as you are here to learn from me. Okay? Yes. All right. So think about a room or a space in your home where you feel the most yourself. And what is it about that room that creates that feeling? And I want you guys to think about it. So I'm going to give you a minute. And if anybody has any responses, I'd love to hear.
I'm a cook, and the kitchen is my safe space.
You're a cook, and the kitchen is your safe space. That's beautiful. I love that. So it's like your personal sanctuary, your culinary sanctuary. You love to put different foods and meals together creatively.
My wife just spent thousands of dollars to update our 1960 kitchen.
I bet it's beautiful.
It is nice, but we're going to have to do something to pay for it. So.
Or you're going to have to start selling your food.
Yes.
That's a great one. Kitchen is probably one of the first places in our homes that we think to update because it gets used every single day. Anyone else? Yeah? Oh, can I have the...
Mine is my bedroom because it's comfortable, it's cozy, it's my refuge when, I've had a hard day or, people
Yeah.
pick me off. I can go to my room and turn on music and either lay down or, sit in a comfy chair and read or, play video games. I like to play video games on my tablet and stuff, so mine is my bedroom. I can kick my feet up and stuff and just, get comfortable.
I love that. Your bedroom is your refuge to relax and escape the world and have a little bit of fun and free time. That's beautiful. So one more. Is there anyone on the call perhaps?
And anyone at home want to unmute yourself and speak? Well, I'll share that at home I have an office where I'm surrounded by my papers and my books, and it's organized so that everything I need is really within arm's reach. I just feel very comfortable and organized there.
Oh, I love that. So you love and crave order. Yes, me too. Chaos and disorder sends my mind into anxiety, right? That's wonderful. I'm glad you have that space for yourself. So I heard a personal refuge. I heard order. I heard I get to create. I didn't hear a paint color, right? I didn't hear because it has a nice floral rug. It's all about how it makes you feel inside. That's what we want to strive towards, is recreating that feeling. And then how do you maximize upon that? How do you build on that? Because that's what's really true to your heart. And that's what's going to create the space that you desire the most to support your sanctuary and your creations and your office order. Because before you consciously begin to think about it, your body already knows what's right. It feels into the space. It's interacting with it. And when a room feels good, you linger, you stay there. If it doesn't feel good, you're might feel cold, it feels off. It's not a space that you want to hang out in or relax in or find comfort and joy in. You just kind of leave. So what I do as a designer is help you find that feeling and then help you to create more of it, to really maximize upon that. So who I am, I'm sure that many of you are aware with interior design, most if not many, right? But I want to introduce you to a little bit of a different way of designing, like Bob was saying. So as a holistic designer, I look at how your home supports your life, supports your health, supports your relationships, your sense of independence, your comfort, your ease. And I found this path through my architecture. I started off as an architect. I did environmental and experiential design. And then halfway through my career, I really began to indulge in yoga and feng shui. And that's when I began understanding how connected we are to our bodies really has a meaningful impact of how we are connected into our spaces and our environments, where we live and where we work, and how that shows up in our daily lives. And if you're stressed and if you're depressed, like I was going through a sense of burnout when I sort of took myself out of my corporate environment and found myself in a space of refuge on a yoga retreat. And I really began to ask why. Why do we have to go on a holiday, a vacation, a retreat in order to come back to our whole self? Why can't we recreate this sense of wholeness within our homes so that we don't have to retreat? Our homes can become the retreat. Our homes can replenish us and replace us with everything that we need, nurture us, and support us. So that's when I really began to learn more about how spaces influence our daily lives. And I have made it my passion, my vision, my goal is to educate more. And here is a quote that I love: "Have nothing in your houses that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful," by William Morris. Okay, so we have some questions. Those are on your worksheets. We're going to kind of work through these together. So what do you want to make more room for in your home? So I always like to say, instead of thinking about what do I want to get rid of, what do I want to remove? When you think about updating your space, you're like, oh, what do I have to get rid of in order to make this space work? And it usually starts with maybe the biggest thing in the room or something that's just not really working. But instead of thinking about what you want to remove, what do you want to create space for? Thinking about what you want to call in more into your life, what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what brings you creativity and peace and ease and sanctuary. Make more time for that, your hobbies or comfort or a place for rest or reading, family time. And none of these things is about the stuff, the items, the furniture. It's about the experience. So we're crafting our space around the experience that we want to have in the space. So we can focus on what we have now. That keeps us tethered to the past, because the things that we have now were once bought months, years, decades even ago. So they have meaning and relationships and maybe people and situations. Good morning. Good morning. We are on part 2, question 1, and we're talking about what do you want to make more room for in your home? Is it travel? Do you want to improve your health? Do you want to improve your relationship with children, family members, friends? These are all the things that we want to bring into our space. So I'm going to open up the floor once more. Yes, microphone. Thank you.
So, as I've been getting older, things change. And one of the best rooms in my house was my garage with all of my tools. And in case I ever need anything for whatever happens, I would have it. And I build a lot. I could build a house almost.
Yeah.
So now I don't need to do that. So the need for all these tools and nuts, bolts, screws, and shelves full of things that are just cluttering up the garage. I mean, think about painting the garage floor now to make it cleaner.
Yeah.
A little bit more attractive. Got the whole garage. Maybe I'll get rid of stuff, but as you get older, your needs change.
Your need. That's true, but so you want to get rid of some of your tools. What are you going to replace them with? What do you want to do more of? Do you still want to do crafting and woodworking?
I think as you get older now, you want everything clean and open.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have the shelves to contain anything anymore. You need to get rid of the shelves. So you make it nice and clean, like your garage would be like your living room.
Yes. Okay.
So that's kind of like the idea I've gotten.
So more space for living area. more space for openness, more space for new ideas to come and flow in. Because right now, all you can focus on is your tools, and that's a previous version of you that you're not really enjoying as much anymore. Got it.
We haven't had the exercise discussion, but that's one of the options.
Exercise room?
Changing your room to accommodate some of the new things you want to have.
Absolutely. Wellness rooms are a big thing right now if you have the space for it. A lot of people are bringing in saunas, infrared technology, Pelotons. Yeah, the saunas, you can get a pop-up sauna in Costco for like $1,000. I mean, it's hot. We live in the desert. You can go outside for 20 minutes. Yeah. But the infrared technology is what's really healing about those saunas. So, because you know how they have like the infrared face masks. But yeah, a wellness room is definitely something that you could bring into your space. Oh, we have another question up front.
Hang on.
I think bathrooms are pretty important in homes because they're opportunities for self-care.
Yes.
I have one bathroom in my house that's it's fairly small, and the issue in that bathroom is really the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty narrow. It doesn't really give me a lot of space. But if I were to renovate it, I mean, it would cost me thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
You know, so I'm constantly debating about whether, you know, how badly do I really, how much does this interfere with my life versus the cost of changing it,
That's a great
you
question.
know?
And we're going to get more into it, but the fact that you're even bringing it up and it's top of mind means that it's taking up space. So you're thinking about it, you know that it doesn't quite function the way that you want it to function for your best life as it is. So is it going to cost thousands of dollars? Yes. But are you willing to invest that in the longevity of your life and your wellness and your self-care? And I think that's really important too. Something to think about. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to the next question. So what in your home is making your daily life harder than it needs to be? So like you're just mentioning, the bathroom doesn't really function. It's too small. It could be hard to get in and out of the bathtub. And that is not being harsh, it's just being observant and noticing what's going on, what's causing you friction and what's causing you resistance. Because these little small frustrations, they add up and they take up space. And once they start taking up space in your brain, then you're not noticing it, but that's giving you less agency for other things in your life that you could be focusing on. So what if you didn't have to think about that bathroom? What if it was just the bathroom of your dreams? So a chair that's hard to get out of, that's effort. It's not supportive. It could be causing mobility issues, joint strain over time. Poor lighting in the kitchen, you just had your kitchen remodeled. Is the lighting efficient? Because over time that could cause lack of clarity. It could cause stress, it could cause eye strain, headaches. And over time, these small things, they add up. And, you know, the bathrooms, if your shower isn't wide enough, if it's hard to get in and out of the tub, if you need mobility bars, these type of things that are going to ensure your health and your wellness over time, they're very meaningful. And when we remove friction, life feels lighter, it feels easier, there's just more flow. And then there's more time for things that's important to us. So does anyone else have a couple of things, one or two things that, okay.
I was thinking of that when you, something else you mentioned, and I was thinking about this, something like this. We noticed that
I don't know, I'm of the generation that we use coffee tables and end tables, and they all have sharp edges. And as we get older, we're talking about in these classes and all the other classes that I've been taking, our balance isn't what it used to be. So I'm thinking more of, especially with my husband, he's 86 now, and we have steps going down into one room and a 2-story house and steps going down to the next room. So some kind of grab bar or something that we should put there, but also get rid of the coffee tables and the end tables, because like I said, they have sharp edges. If we fall and hit our head on that, or even our leg, we could cause, real damage and stuff. And yet, I like the way it looks. I like these end tables. I, picked them out. They're about 20, 25 years old, but they're really, really nice, and they're holding up really well. They're not chipped up or anything like that. So I'm having kind of mixed feelings about, getting rid of those, because it is a hazard as we get older and stuff. So yeah, I understand. Like I said, I thought about it with another thing that you said, and I was like, maybe I better rethink those tables.
Absolutely. Things that are causing harm to us are going to eventually, you can kind of brace for it. It's could potentially, we don't want bad things to happen to us, but if we have situations in our homes where they could cause a fall or hurt yourself, a bruise or anything, God forbid you hit your head on it or anything like that, In feng shui, square corners and edges, it's not good energy. It cuts into your chi energy because it causes the flow of the energy to move too fast. So the rounded edges makes things more mobile. It kind of slows the energy down a little bit. So, that's a very practical way of putting it. But when we think about it, it's just like you're saying, the rounded corner, even if you just not having to think about, oh, that's a really sharp corner, I don't want to hurt my leg on it, or I don't want to fall and hit my head on it. It's taking up space in your mind. And subconsciously, you're thinking, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Well, when you think don't fall, what's going to happen? You're going to fall. Yeah. So removing that, I'm sure that it has served you well over the past 20, 25 years, but moving forward, I'm sure you could find something that can last you another 20, 25 years, but it's going to work better within your space. Thank you.
How does boredom fit into decluttering?
Boredom.
So let me give you a couple of examples.
Okay.
I have one chair that I've had for decades.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with the chair. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
No mobility issues, doesn't affect me in it, affect me in any negative way. Just kind of looking at it. Or a coffee maker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I've had this coffee maker for a couple of years. If I get a new one, I have one in mind. Will the coffee be that much better versus the cost of the coffee maker? Probably not, but I'm tired of looking at the coffee maker.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a really good point. So these are things that is taking up space in your mind and you don't like it. And I'm a big fan of, if you don't like it, no matter who gave it to you or how much you spent, it's got to go. Because you look at it, you think, I don't like this chair. So what energy are you sending to your home, to your chair, to yourself when you go and sit in the chair that you don't like?
But I'm going to get bored all over it. At some point, right?
You like changing, you like updates. Yeah.
So you're advertising for a monthly, quarterly?
I can't come in like every 3 months and rearrange your space for you. I think that when if you and I were to sit down and I were to really get to know you better and understand more about your lifestyle and your goals, then we could have an opportunity to identify what you love. And when you find something that you love, and it might not take one shopping day, it might take weeks or months. Sometimes it takes a long time to find the perfect thing. And the perfect thing might not last you 20 years. The perfect thing might last 5 years, a season. But the best thing is to have something that's going to bring joy into your life, into your home, versus having something that you despise and you have to look at every day because you don't like it. Now the coffee maker, you know, coffee, you're drinking that, so you're ingesting that. So if the energy that you're sending into the coffee maker is like, oh, I don't really like this coffee maker, but I guess I'm gonna drink it, then you're ingesting that into your body. Does that make sense?
So how do you address the budget issue? Do you actually open yourself up to legacy, antique type shops, secondhand stores,
I love secondhand shops.
Facebook Marketplace?
Absolutely. I love thrifting and antiquing. Anytime I can find something that has been previously loved by another owner and I can find another home, it's not going into the landfill, I love to bring that in. It takes longer to find something like that, but I encourage secondhand furniture, especially nowadays where, it's half the stuff that you're buying is not natural. It's not solid wood. It's some sort of compressed, engineered material. So it definitely does take a little bit longer to find true quality pieces. But yes, I do definitely encourage it. But also, the caveat to that is just kind of having a history of where it comes from, because you don't want to bring something into your home that has bad energy too. So you kind of just have to do a little bit of research and check it out a little bit.
Can't you cleanse it?
Absolutely. You can cleanse it. Absolutely. You can definitely cleanse it. Yes. Thank you. Any more? Okay. I'm going to go to the next question. So this kind of segues into what does your home need to carry you through the next 10 to 20 years? So I like to take my clients through, let's not try to design for where we are today, because tomorrow that's already going to be in the past. Let's try to think about where you see yourself in 5-10 years. Are you traveling? Are you trying to improve your health? Are you trying to improve relationships with your family members? These are the things that we want to ensure that we're calling this into our space with the things that we bring into it. So if it's the safety, if it's the comfort, if it's better lighting, if it's fewer stairs, maybe storage that you don't really need anymore. All of these things needs to ensure that the person that you're going to be in 5 to 10 to 20 years from now is going to be able to make use of them and be able to access them at the same time. So is it going to be accessible? Or are you going to feel like it was designed for, a previous version of yourself? And we can't predict the future, but we kind of know the direction that our lives is headed in and where we want to be. So we definitely want to make sure that we're bringing more of that into our lives. I like to think about cabinets. I know I'm just a young 43, but I hate having to reach down underneath in my kitchen cabinets and dig into the drawers. So is that something where you can get the pull-out drawers and make that a little bit more accessible to you? Does anyone have any thoughts? It's a tough one. Okay. Well, I'm going to go on to the next slide. And here is a project example that I've worked on. And this is a project where a client asked me to help them design what she called her forever home. This is local. It's in the, what is it called? Winchester area. And Winchester. So she loves this Adobe style home. She's been looking for one of these homes in Las Vegas. You know, they're really popular in New Mexico, Arizona. And so she found this home, and it's the home that she always dreamed of. It has a little over an acre. It has a well. It's like literally her perfect property. But when she got inside, it didn't feel like she wanted it to feel. And when she told me what she wanted it to feel, it was, she wanted it to feel like a retreat, specifically a Hawaiian hotel lobby vibe. She wanted to relax. She wanted to be able to host. She wanted to welcome people. She wanted to throw parties. And, you know, she was very, very clear that, you know, she wanted to extend her home out to her friends and family. So when we look at this and what she brought, the intention that she brought to this home was that she wanted it to be like a retreat, relaxing. She wanted to host. She wanted to feel comfortable and like a hotel lobby experience. And so I'm gonna bring those move on questions, those 3 questions that I just asked you. So what in the home is making daily life harder than it needs to be? So when you look at the space, what can you notice about it? Does anybody see anything that could make her intentions a little bit harder? Let me get this out of the way here. Yeah.
I think it's a relatively cold-looking space.
Right.
I mean, there's no rugs, you know, I mean, it's just not appealing.
It's not appealing, correct.
It's cold.
It looks cold.
I'll take
Oh, wait, we have a lot of, okay.
I think it looks like a doctor's office, which none of us are real excited about. So that's what it looks like to me.
Looks like a doctor's office, yes.
Or dentist, whatever.
Yes,
So if she wants to entertain, there's a barrier between the kitchen and the gathering area.
exactly. There's a barrier. Yes, very good.
This is a typical Vegas kind of design though, right?
It is. So it was built in Vegas. It's here in Las Vegas. It was designed, you know, it's a custom designed home, but it's still a Las Vegas property.
Well, it's not old, but it's probably.
No, I
70s,
like
80s, maybe.
not even 2000, 2005, 2004, 2005, I believe. Mm-hmm.
That's in Winchester.
Yes, it's in Winchester. You know where it is?
Where did I say?
So it's like Windmill and
It's brand new. It's in,
it's about 20, 25 years old.
yeah, they're building homes over there now.
Mm-hmm.
Windmill and what?
Windmill and like between Las Vegas Boulevard and Pecos. I don't know, that's a lot of streets in between. I don't know the exact cross street. Kind of. It's Las Vegas. It's not too far away from like the outlet mall. Yeah.
It's not an old home. This is pretty recent.
Yeah, it's about 20, 25 years old. Those were some really good things that you guys brought up though. It looks stark, it looks cold, it looks sterile. There is a physical barrier. That is definitely something that we address because those pony walls, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but this wall is restricting access. What are these? I mean, these are definitely restricting the flow into the home and sort of really making things very narrow and restricting movement. You have a question?
I was just gonna say that the windows bring in a lot of light during the day, but I'm not sure that one light on the top is gonna serve for a purpose at night.
This is a very dark property. The way that it's oriented And I think it was done intentionally to obstruct a lot of the Vegas sun. So this home does stay pretty cool in the summer. I think this was maybe May, June when we began construction, and it was pretty cool, but dark. And that's not really good for our bodies when the lighting is so dark and heavy. I have one more image to show. This is just another view, but we'll talk through. Next question is, what does this home need to carry someone through the next 20 years? So this is that same room looking in the opposite direction. And we were thinking about having a warm, welcoming environment that feels like a hotel lobby retreat. Do we get that vibe or that implication from this view?
What are those openings?
What are those? What are those? Yeah, so they're decorative niches. Yeah, so they were put in as a shelf display type of area. The fireplace, that was a wood burning fireplace, but it's very small. It doesn't take up a lot. It's not very prominent. It doesn't say warmth or togetherness. Yes.
When it comes to the fireplace, isn't it to where they have it either two choices, closed in or open faced, open?
Yeah.
That is harmful to the individual there?
Yeah. So fireplaces, they carry a lot of energy, and they are the heart of the home. They're the heart of the home. They keep things warm. And this one, yeah, like you're saying, what is it going to be? Is it going to be closed or is it going to be open? This one looks as if it belongs in like a cottage in the woods versus in a desert landscape home. Does that answer your question?
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah. So those are definitely things that we address. This fireplace.
There's one thing is, okay, now, if it's open, that means you say it carries energy.
Yes.
That energy will be able to be connected to individuals, or the closed ones are where the energy is being blocked off.
Contained. Yeah. It could be contained. Well, sometimes you might want to contain the energy. You don't want it to, in the summertime where it's already hot, you don't want to add more heat energy into the home. So it's okay to block it off in some situations. But for the most part, if you're wanting to ensure flow into your space, then yes, it should be open. I agree.
I have another comment.
Yes. Let's pick it apart.
I'm not crazy about the flooring. That's not my style of flooring anyway, but I feel like there's other kinds of flooring that can brighten up the room and also make it look bigger and just expand it somewhat.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree. It definitely makes the space look a lot heavier and darker. It pulls the energy down. And for this type of home, for the style and the architecture of the home, I understand they were keeping to that traditional adobe style with the terracotta, but it definitely makes the whole space look a lot heavier and more dense instead of bright and open and lively. So in this beautiful space where, you know, there's so much potential, it just feels kind of drab. So I love how insightful you guys all are. And I think it's about break time. So we are going to pause here. And when we come back, we're going to talk through the principles that come into play when we update a space holistically. So these are going to be space, flow, lighting, connection to nature, and your personal intentions. And I'm excited to show you the next round of this. let's get into the next segment, which is part 3 on your worksheets. The 5 principles of a holistic home. So when I walk into a home, or any space really, because I also work in commercial spaces as well, these are the 5 things that I am scanning for. And it doesn't matter who the client is or, where it's located. This sequence always remains the same into what I'm looking to see. So the first one is what we've talked about. How do you create more space? Because here's the thing, clutter creates visual noise. It takes up space in your mind. It causes stress, it causes anxiety, it raises your cortisol. And this is all about the things that you have around you, the disarray, the disorder. So it's not really about throwing things away, it's what are you creating more space for? Letting go of objects doesn't necessarily erase the memory behind them. I know a lot of times when we think about decluttering or purging, we tend to focus on what we're getting rid of. But I like to reframe that and say it's not what you're getting rid of, but what are you creating space for? Enhance your lighting. So like we talked about with that image, dim lighting suppresses your circadian rhythm. It suppresses your serotonin, which is the happiness hormone. Light tells your body what time it is. And warm, layered lighting helps to wind you down when you're stressed. It helps to wind you up when you're sad. Harsh overhead lightings, like these ones are actually pretty good. They're pretty warm. These ones over here are a little harsh, but I understand the function is because these are more for task lights. So the presenter is here and they need that, where those are the ones that are on this side of the room is more warm to make you feel more inviting and more welcome. Connect to nature.
Wait, I just have a comment.
Yes.
As I get older, I find I need more lighting.
Yes.
I find as I get older, I need more lighting.
Yes, you
so
do.
Having the subdued lighting, yes, great for mood enhancing, but when I'm doing something, we have one of those switch things on my kitchen light where you can adjust the dimmer or not.
Yeah.
And so, obviously when we're cooking, it's on bright.
Yeah.
But then when we get done, we turn it down a little bit because it reflects on the TV. And
Yes.
stuff. So, I don't know, like I said, I need brighter light as I get older.
Yeah, I agree with that. And especially in your task working areas, like your kitchen, like your office area, you don't want it to be sleepy. You don't want it to cause eye strain. You definitely want it to be workable. So it's all about layering the lighting so that it works for you. And like you said, you have dimmers or there's, smart lights that you can set so that they adjust to what your needs are for different times of the day. So they might come on brighter when you're cooking dinner, but then when it's time to wind down, then it can start to tone down and start to get you more ready and prepared for bed. So they kind of, there are systems that they're starting to place in the newer homes where they're integrative lighting systems that follow your daily rhythm. So you kind of program it to, if you're cooking dinner between 5 to 7 roughly every night, then you can program that into your home where it knows to make that time of day a little bit brighter for you. Connect to nature. So for many of us, especially at this stage, nature becomes a lot more important. Like you're saying, you need more light, not less. So having access to the outdoors, to nature, landscapes, trees, water, these types of things are replenishing our body because we are one with the planet. Also having natural materials, so this is your wood, your stone, your linen, your wool, trying to stay away from plastic synthetic materials, because these are actually robbing you of your health and your vitality. They're not giving anything back. So there's a symbiotic relationship that we have between our bodies and the natural environment. It's constantly feeding us more information, but plastic doesn't do that. And let it flow. So this is thinking about how the space moves, how it moves with you. When your home doesn't ask anything of you, when it's not asking for you to avoid the table, or when it's not asking you to maneuver in your bathroom in a certain way, you move through it more clearly without thinking. And then when you're more comfortable in your space, it's able to support you in ways that we don't even know. It's just endless. And lastly, you want to set your intention. So what is it, like we were saying this whole time, what is it that you want your home to do? What do you want to bring in? How do you want it to support you? Is it a room? Is it a reading space? Is it a project area? Is it a craft area? Is it an area to entertain friends and family? Whatever it is, your home should really reflect what you have time for now to focus on. And I want to note that these 5 principles, these are what I look at, but you don't have to go home and think, oh, I have to adjust all these things all at once. You can take it step by step, one thing at a time, one day, 1 week, 1 month at a time. Just start making small intentional changes. You'll notice that they start to have a lasting impact over time. So let's get a little bit more into creating more space. So in Feng Shui, the foundation is to any room, into any home, into any update, adjustment that you're going to do is going to be decluttering and making more space, because you can't call in new energy without releasing old stagnant energy that's no longer serving. So a lot of our homes are full of decades of living, and that doesn't mean that it's meaningless. And it's evidence that it's a happy, loving, full, and rich home. But sometimes your body already knows that something is not right. It's misaligned. It's a little off. It feels boring, or it just doesn't, it feels harmful. It doesn't feel like it is elevating us into our next stage. And that unsettling feeling raises our cortisol. Even though we're not actively scanning for it, we're not actively aware that it's raising our cortisol, but these small moments is constantly feeding our bodies information that's biological. So I just want to remind you all that memory doesn't live within objects. It lives within you, and the object is just where you store it. So the memory is something that you always have, and releasing doesn't mean that it's not erasure. It's still purposeful, the meaning is still intentional, and it still has a place within you. But instead of releasing, let's think about curating. So instead of having, say, I don't know, like 25 picture frames of the family, then maybe we could choose a couple of really important intentional moments, and we can put those on a shelf, and we could even rotate those moments out seasonally if we want to, but it gives you time and space to process these moments versus the clutter of all the moments is overwhelming to your nervous system. It's overwhelming to your brain. You can't take all that information in. So it's better to curate a moment versus display everything all at once. Does that make sense for everyone? Do you have any questions? Any hesitations? No? Good.
like the idea of memory doesn't live in objects. That's a good one.
Yeah, because it's true. The memory is something that we retell ourselves. And the object is a reminder, but is there a way that you can honor the memory without attaching it to a thing? Yeah, thank you. Yes.
So, well, here's my problem with that. I have a garage full of memorabilia and stuff I've collected and carried with me from New York and New Jersey and all boxes full of stuff. And yeah, I should throw it away maybe because they're my memories through my life. And not just mine, like my parents, and they're dead now. But it's not just my memories, it's like their memories, and then when I'm gone, their memories of people, so the people after me won't have those memories, and all that's left is these things.
Right.
And it'll be like, oh, look at my grandmother's report card or something. So I don't know, maybe I don't want to throw that away.
I get that. It's really hard too. And especially when there's so much. But is there something within that that is really meaningful? Like, could you take a through line and tell one story around those things instead of all, like the whole story and then all of the other side stories to it? Some things may be more important than others. Some things may be more memorable than others. Some things might have more investment to the tangible thing, whatever that is. It could be worth something, or it could just be a piece of history. So it takes a long time to go through that stuff too. If you have time, it would be good to kind of go through it and see, what the memory holds, and to sort of think about, what is this bringing up for you? And is that something that you want to pass on to your children or your grandchildren?
Let them throw it all away.
There's a lot of emotion there.
It's a lot of emotion, yes, it's a lot of
I
emotion.
can definitely support this because when you put up the slide that says 10 to 20 years, I don't know if that's going to happen, right? So 5 to 10 years is a good thing to do, but I've actually talked to my children about our house and our stuff, and they're pretty honest about the whole thing. We're just going to pull up with a dumpster.
Yeah, yes,
And all that stuff's going to go away anyway.
Yes.
Right? So it's a challenge for us, my wife and I. My wife's got more of a hoarding problem than I do. But it's a challenge for us to kind of recognize that nothing's permanent, and these things are going to go away anyway. So, like you said, the memory we retain, and the things we can pass on, right? We've started to give, and my parents did a great job of this before they passed. My mom's in a memory care unit now, but when my father passed, they had already gone through all of their closets and gave away his army jacket to my son, and did all kinds of really great stuff to kind of let go of that stuff, but to keep it alive in the family. It was really interesting.
Yeah, and that's like curating that experience, because if you don't want it to go into a dumpster, if you actually do want it to live on, then you could begin to think about it more intentionally as far as who it can go onto. Because I've experienced this in my work where I have clients that have things that they've inherited from their parents and their grandparents, and they don't like it, they don't love it, but it's there, and they have that attachment because, well, what if they wanted me to, do something with it? Or if I give it away, I'm giving away a piece of them. Yes.
Yeah, I have the same thing, emotional attachment. When I came back from Iraq, we had this presentation of the flag that flew with the green zone. I gave that to the veterans group, the liberation of Kuwait, all the memorabilia from that, gave it away. And when we came back from Afghanistan, we got all these gifts from the people in background, gave that away too. I said, This is the best thing we can do, is emotionally detach from everything. And now I go to a room, there's no clutter, and my mind is open. It's not prisoners of what's happened before. Now I can look in front of myself, look in front of me, and deal with the reality of what's happening right now. That's what happened before, or what may happen in the front. So that's been the thing about this designing properly and creating space for the brain. That's what I see here.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your service. That's an amazing perspective that you just identified, is when you're keeping it, although it's important and it's a piece of history, but do you want that to still be your history that you're dragging through your life, or can you donate it to an organization that can take that piece of history and tie it into their story without all of that emotional attachment and negativity that you have attached to that meaning? So yes. Yes. Oh wait, you have the microphone.
We'll give it to you next. I was just gonna say, I like my pictures and some of that memorabilia because I like to look at it and remember those memories that warm my heart, so I kind of keep those in front of me. But as far as other things, I have a plastic container and it has a bunch of stuff in it that's important to me that I like to look at, and my kids know to just throw it away when I'm gone. Just get rid of it, it's not important to you.
It's great that you're having the conversations with them now, because what I'm seeing is that when you don't, it attaches so much guilt onto your children because they don't want to get rid of it, because they don't want to lose a piece of you, and they know that it was important to you, but they don't want it. And so there's a lot of emotional attachment that's still being carried on from the emotional attachments that you have to that thing right now. So it's carrying on into their future. So it's something to think about, and I'm glad that y'all are having this conversation.
When I think about a living space, for me, the structural changes that I would need to make outweigh kind of getting rid of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the bathroom renovation is one example of it. A second example is lighting. So in order to cut down on my electric bills during the summer and to decrease the stress on my air conditioning unit, I decided to get some of the windows tinted.
Yes.
So the windows that face, my windows face west and north.
Okay.
So I decided to get the windows tinted on the west and leave the north windows alone. So it worked.
Yes.
My electric bills last summer didn't go over $200.
That's amazing.
I mean, it was great.
Yes.
I mean, didn't have a, well, anyway. So if I were to increase the light, I would really have to get new windows.
Well, you have them tinted, right?
Yeah, so in one room that I spent a lot of time in, the tinting does affect the light that comes in.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to have more light.
There is a technology that is clear, but it reduces the heat transfer. So you still get the light without the, you get the light without the heat. It does exist.
Okay, well, that option wasn't presented to me. The windows are dimmer.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I don't know if I could change that at this point.
It could be changed. I don't know if you made that investment already, if you want to reinvest in that, but if you're craving the light, then it might be something that you want to bring back.
Two technology comment and technology question.
Okay.
What do you do about the fact that living in a smaller space and designing it around your new lifestyle, which is sans kids and sans, gatherings, televisions, taking up most of a wall,
Yes.
right? Lighting, viewing, interaction. How does the television affect this?
Well, so I consider a television to be a black mirror. because it's reflecting everything that's happening within your space. If it's not projecting a scene, but it's a darker version of that. So it's kind of negative energy. It kind of sucks up the energy. So how can we get around that? Well, I feel like everybody's on screens nowadays. You can limit the amount of screens that you have. You can integrate it into your walls so that it becomes more of a feature instead of something that's taking away. So have like picture frames or so that are surrounding it that visually take away from the actual TV. Like a collage.
Have you ever talked about the fact that streaming allows you to do basically art?
Yeah, you can do that too. I love to do that at my home. I stream landscapes on my home. I stream like impressionist art on my TV as well, with some music, some relaxing music as well, just to lighten up the space.
There's
Yes.
a thing that my husband and I got, it's called the frame,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's a Samsung TV, right?
You pick
Yeah.
a frame that goes around the TV, and then it has different pictures from different museums. And it's beautiful. You can't. It doesn't look like a TV.
And it
just
integrates
looks
the
like a
art. Yes.
picture. Really,
Yes.
it's really nice.
Yeah, those are really nice. But ideally, we can't really get away from the TVs too much, but you can integrate them so you can hide them into the wall a little bit, so kind of make them flush, cover them with doors if you don't want to see them, and then open them back up. I've seen TVs that look like a piece of glass. So during the daytime, they're very expensive, but during the daytime, it just looks like glass, so you see the wall behind it, and when you turn it on, then it projects your screen. So it's being developed because this is a common issue. Interior design, having the TV as a main focal point is a big no-no, but I like to be practical. I have young boys, so there's no way that I can get around having a TV in my living room, and I have a husband, so guys definitely seem to like the TV a lot more.
Second comment, something that made a big difference in our life, having pictures, memories, and particularly when you have kids or grandkids, you want to kind of have that available, but going to the room where we have that, opening up the box and going through all that stuff and creating more mess. We got an Aura frame video where you can upload pictures that change every 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah.
That was just an amazing thing for us because we don't have to run over, we don't have, obviously have to do thousands of pictures, just really
the ones you love.
The ones we love with our family. And it's kind of on the counter below the television.
Yeah.
So it kind of like, oh yeah, I remember.
It adds to the whole vibe, yeah.
It's a couple $100, $120.
And it's worth it.
Oh man. I can tell you stories about my granddaughter in Minneapolis, St. Paul, who had trouble because grandma and grandpa visited once in a while. When we got them one of those frames, she knew who everybody was.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And now it's like video calls are great. Everything's just.
That's amazing.
Not so far away.
Yeah.
Anyone else? No? Okay. We're getting short on time, and I want you guys to get to your projects. So I'm going to kind of breeze through these next ones. We've talked a lot about them. So enhance the lighting. So we talked about this, making sure that it's adequate lighting, making sure that there's proper wattage for the times that you need. Try to eliminate blue tone lights. So at the bottom here, I have 2700 Kelvin. That's warm. when you see warm light on the light boxes, on the light bulbs. 3,000 to 3,500, like that's daylight. And that leans more blue. That's what you want in your, it leans more neutral, but it's more blue. And that's what you want in your kitchens and in your office spaces. But the big thing is to try to keep it consistent, whatever you do. Because, 20, 25 years ago, we didn't have all these different types of light bulbs. And so we're not really always consciously choosing the light bulbs that we have. And so when you have different light bulbs all over the house, that is actually throwing off your circadian rhythm. So you want to just try to make sure that it's consistent. Does that make sense? Does everyone have questions? Okay. And connect to nature, we talked about this. Prioritize non-toxic materials, organic if you can, wood, stones, anything that's natural. I try to really stay away from synthetic. It's really hard and you have to be very intentional about what you're bringing in, but synthetic materials, they off-gas and we don't realize it, but like when you're buying things and you see VOCs or any of the hazard in California, because they're the ones that have the strictest policies. They check for lead, they check for formaldehyde, they check for a lot of things that other states don't. And what it means is, like a table, like we're all sitting on, the properties of it is slowly emitting microscopic particles of lead and formaldehyde and whatever else chemical is in it. So you wanna try to be organic, as solid material, as natural as possible. And we talked about space flow and your intentions for your space too. I do have a resource. It's a QR code on the last sheet that you guys have for holistic decluttering. And so if you're having a hard time with the emotional attachment, I have it's like a 3 or 4 part video series talking through some ways that it can help you to release, come to terms with the emotions that you have, accept them for what they are, and do it in a gentle and easy way, not being so hard on yourself, but also, giving yourself grace while in the process. Okay, so is it okay that we go over a little bit? Okay?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit? Okay, so let's go back to this house. So, it's a big difference, right? It's the same house.
Is that what's speaking to you? Is that what's speaking to you?
Is it speaking to you? The kitchen is back here. She wanted green cabinets because it's the Hawaiian vibe, right? So I'm just gonna go through those same questions. Did we create more space? We eliminated these pony walls back here. We got rid of all of that, these walls that were over here. So we opened up the flow of the house. And that was a really good insight that you had, that it was creating a barrier from the kitchen, and that's not ideal for hosting. So we did open that up. It's a lot brighter. We enhanced the lighting. We opened up this whole wall. And so now these doors, I don't think I have the image here, but the doors open all the way up. So you don't even see the frame when the weather's out. It's just a complete inside-outside experience that connects us to nature. We have so many natural plants. There's a wallpaper leaf here. She loved this table. It is, it's reef wood. So like coral reef wood that is all brought together in this. It's beautiful. The flow is improved. So what do you guys think? Does the space now have the meaning that she wanted?
I like that orange.
The orange, yes. She was intent on that specific shade of orange. Took us many months to find that particular color. It's tangerine. That's exactly the color, is tangerine. Thank you. So here's another view. So we replaced the fireplace. So that was over here in this corner. We've integrated it into this beautiful marble. We built some intentional shelving to display her items. The TV it's still visible, but it is integrated. And unfortunately, we didn't have like a picture or a scene that would have made it much better for the image, but everything flows a lot more seamless, and she's got her wonderful Hawaiian retreat hotel lobby vibe. Okay, so.
Were you able to put that flooring over the tile?
Oh no.
You have to remove the tile.
We removed the tile, yeah. It was quite a process. It was a dirty, dusty, long process, but so overall, this whole house budget with this, the tile ran through the whole entire house. There was no carpet, so they removed all that. The master suite bedroom, which is huge, is probably just the same size as this room, is also the same tile. And the bathroom, which extends further back the wall, and the kitchen remodel, which we got new countertops, new backsplash, painted the cabinets. The cabinets that were here in this area where that wall was that was blocking the kitchen, we actually reused it and put those cabinets here. So we did save. I like to save as much as possible. But overall, this whole budget, these doors cost the most. And it was at a time where shipping delays and everything, tariffs, all of that is happening. So the all-in budget for this is $125K.
Not including the furniture.
Not including the furniture, but the furniture was not too much more, I would say. Probably that would add another 20K. So maybe 150 all in. Yeah.
So you know how much I like homework.
So you guys have homework, yes. You have homework.
Page 3.
Yes. We were gonna do this here, but we ran out of time, but that's okay. And I want you to email me your thoughts and your process and what's coming up for you.
Other people who could
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.